Okay, that's what we've talked about, what concerns you. Now, what gives you hope that this team will finally break through? And I want to, before we finish this, to me, in my mind, breakthrough means win the divisional round.
Yeah.
You've won wild card games before. You haven't won you have not won the divisional round game since the 1995 season. 0 and 7. 0 and 7. That's the worst stretch in the NFL since the Chiefs had a similar stretch before they had Patrick Mahomes as quarterback. So we're looking at now, to me, if they just win that game and they get to the Final Four, that's the breakthrough. It's not Super Bowl. It's not Super Bowl. That's how I define it. So what gives you hope that this team will finally do it?
Two things. Mike McCarthy said a couple years ago, the way to break through is repeatedly get there. The Cowboys have gotten there 3 straight years, and this is not new for them. This is not, the problem with Garrett's Cowboys is they would get to the playoffs and they'd be out the playoffs. They get to the playoffs, and it'd always be a new thing. We're starting over. Well, get into the playoffs, being in this part, being in the tournament, as Bill Parcells like to say, is old hat. And they're comfortable. This is their comfort zone. Now it's time for breakthrough. And I think the difference to me, we had a picture of CeeDee Lamb, is Dak and CD. I get to talk to Dak every day, and it just has a different air of confidence around him. And, talking to Jaron Curse, he said that there's no stopping Dak and CD. And with the way CD is playing, the way Dak is playing, who's going to stop them? And teams, and we go back to the San Francisco game all we want to, but the Cowboys have changed their identity, changed how they play football since that San Francisco game. They cut Dak loose. They cut CD loose. CD talked, complained, and so and all that other stuff. And they played a different brand of football since that San Francisco game. And right now, there's been no stopping Dak and CD.
No, and I think the other thing too, there's a couple other things that give me reason for hope that they can win these next 2 games. But the first one is that they're at home. They will be at home on Sunday against the Packers at 3:30. And if they win that game, which I think they will, then they will be home for the next game. And this team hasn't lost at home for what, Clarence? Is it 16 straight?
Yeah, 16 straight. Since the first game, since the Buccaneers lost to start the 22 season when Dak got hurt. They've since then.
This is a different team at home and on the road. They just are. And if you want to say it's 72 degrees and it's indoors and they're fans, or I don't know, but they're at home and they're a better team. A much better team at home. And if they've got their first, I'll tell you what, if they blow this, if they blow this game or the next game, we are going to. To me, this one is the bigger one than the next one. Assuming they play the Lions, you're playing a really good team. And that Detroit team we saw a couple weeks ago, that was a hell of a good game. That was a great game. It was crazy, but it was a great game. So I'd be less upset about this one if they blow this one, and I don't think they're going to. There's some people out there who are convinced Green Bay's going to give them a game. Certainly Las Vegas doesn't think so. But to me, the big one is that they're home. And the other one, too, is they've got some really good defensive players who can make big catalytic type plays. The fact that Micah Parsons wasn't voted all pro to me is insane, but that's whatever. Micah Parsons, I think, is due for a monster breakout kind of game. I trust DeMarcus Lawrence a lot. I think that secondary is really, really good. Deron Bland's had a great season of making interceptions. Totally fell out of thin air. Stephon Gilmore, is he going to play on Sunday, by the way?
He plans to play, yes. Okay. Stephon Gilmore plans to play. He's going to wear a harness, but he said, I'm out there.
So those are the reasons that give me pause to think that this team's going to break through and win these next 2 games.